Take two.
Okay, we're ready?
Big clap.
The first rule is people generally like to be treated the way you would like to be treated. So if you always put yourself in that sort of a scenario when you're helping someone, whether it's they've made a mistake, whether they've done something great, treating them like you would like to be treated if you were in their position, I think adds a lot of value, and people can really get behind where you want to go at the end of the conversation.
And the other, I think, biggest part of leadership is having patience and knowing when to, push a little bit more and expect a bit more, and then also knowing when to, hold back a little bit while they're learning, and appreciate that everybody learns at a different speed and in different ways.
I think the greatest leaders and mentors and coaches are those who not only want to see the individuals they're teaching succeed, but do even better than they did. I think that's what sets apart good leaders, is that you want others to not make the same mistakes you did, and inspire them and lead them in the right direction and set them up on a path that will take them even farther than you accomplished.
So the biggest influence, let's say female influence in my life, has been my mother. She is one of the most courageous, strongest, bravest women I know in the world.
Well, I come from a very long line of strong Italian women. I'd say a strong influence for me was my paternal grandmother, who immigrated here from Italy with 4 kids, not speaking a word of English, and figuring out her way in a new culture, a new country. She provided for her family in a multitude of various ways.
And I want to shed light on actually the ranchers' wives. They'll be taking care of the kids, making dinner, and then in a minute they'll be on horseback roping a calf, and it's the most badass thing I've seen. Be the hardest worker in the room. You'll have to work twice as hard as any of the boys. Respect has to be earned in this industry, and your work ethic has to be unparalleled to anyone else. So put your head down, put in extra hours, just hustle. Success always tastes sweeter when you've worked hard.
The other one is come every day with a positive and professional attitude. You've got the right attitude and a willingness to work hard at it. There's nothing that you can't succeed at.
And also, watching, really paying attention to how other people interact and their body language. You can learn a lot about what's going on around you, and it can really help you as you're learning and starting out in a new position.
I think there's a lot of obstacles that many of us face throughout a ton of different industries. I think the key, though, is figuring out what your perceived weakness is and try to use that to your advantage. There can be great strength by using your weakness to your advantage, because someone in that case is underestimating you, and that is the last thing you want to ever do to a woman. Never underestimate a woman.
Of course there's obstacles in this industry. I think there is in any industry as a female, but agricultural is definitely dominated by the males, so girls just got to work extra hard and prove themselves, and then they'll be laughing at the end of the day.
So there are some obstacles that I have faced in the field of agriculture. It is a very male-dominated industry. However, that is changing, especially when it comes to grocery and meat. There are far more women involved and working in different levels of the grocery business and agriculture for that matter.